السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه والتابعين وتابعيهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, today it is Sunday, the 18th of Rabi'ul-Awwal 1446, matching the 22nd of September 2024. This is our session number 8, going through this book titled في ظلال المحبة, in the shades of love. So we continue from where we left before Salat al-Isha. He said, وبالجملة, and in general. So now this sign of love, the sign of the servant loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he will be more comfortable in seclusion, in privacy with Allah, worshipping Him and obeying Him. He will have comfort with that more than him being busy with talking and other things. And that's a sign that he loves Allah. He finds his heart, he finds enjoyment in being in privacy with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and worshipping Him. So he said, وَبِالْجُمْلَةِ, and in general, he said, and this is from here from Madarij al-Salikin, he takes that, فَإِنَّمَا يَفْعَلُهُ الْمُحِبُّ الصَّادِقُ, what the lover, the true lover does, وَيَأْتِي بِهِ فِي خِدْمَةِ مَحْبُوبِهِ, what he performs in obedience, in worship, service to his beloved, هُوَ أَسَرُّ شَيْءٍ إِلَيْهِ وَأَلَذُّهُ عِنْدَهُ, it is the most delightful thing to him, and it's the most enjoying for him, with him. وَلَا يَرَى ذَلِكَ تَكْلِيفًا, he doesn't view that to be taklif, like a burdensome chore. Taklif, when you have assignments to do, it's like, you have to do them. So, but the worship doesn't turn to be like that. بل تبقى الطاعات غذاء لقلبه, rather acts of obedience become as a source of nourishment for his heart, وسرورا له, and delight for him, وقرة عين في حقه, قرة عين في حقه, تبقى الطاعات قرة عين في حقه, satisfaction in his regard, ونعيما لروحه, غذاء لقلبه وسرورا له وقرة عين في حقه ونعيما لروحه, and a bliss and enjoyment for his soul, يتلذذ بها, he's enjoying, ويتنعم بملابستها أعظم مما يتنعم بملابسة الطعام والشراب واللذات الجسمانية. He will enjoy being mulabasa, when you mix with something, you mingle with it, right? So he will enjoy doing these activities, right? Those acts of worship, greater than him enjoying having food and drink and physical enjoyments. لذات جسمانية, جسم is the body, bodily enjoyments. فإن اللذات الروحانية أو الروحانية القلبية, الروحانية, روح, the enjoyments that are spiritual. روح is spirit, soul, right? Spiritual enjoyments that are قلبية, enjoyments that are enjoyments of the heart, أقوى وأتم من اللذات الجسمانية, they are stronger, they are more perfect than the bodily joys, the bodily enjoyments. The enjoyment of the soul, of the spirit, is far much stronger than the enjoyment of the body. He said, فَلَا يَجِدُ فِي أَوْرَادِ الْعِبَادَةِ كُلْفَةً, so he does not find in the awrad. Awrad is the plural of wird. Wird is the regular portion of ibadah that you do. Wird. The plural is awrad. So you say your wird is 1 juz a day, your wird is 1 hizb, your wird is 2 juz, and like that. Or your wird is you do this and that every day. So he doesn't find in those regular assigned times of ibadah, he doesn't find in them kulfa. He doesn't find them to be burdensome. ولا تصير تكليفا في حقه. They don't become those awrad of dhikr and ibadah, regular worships. They will not turn to be a burdensome assignment, taklif, in his regard. فلا شيء ألذ للمحب من خدمة محبوبه وطاعته. There is nothing more enjoying for the lover than to serve, يعني to worship his beloved and to obey him. هذه اللذة والتنعم بالخدمة, this joy, this enjoyment by obedience, serving, إنما تحصل بالمصابرة على التكره والتعب أولا. This state of reaching enjoyment of the ibadah, it will not be achieved except with مصابرة. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا. اصبروا means be patient. صابروا means yes, you are competing with somebody else, right? You are doing with else. Yani this time here, you are doing that. The shaitan is trying to tell you, take it easy, don't do it. And yourself also, the soul, the self, and nafs. And nafs, it doesn't want to work. It's telling you, cool down. You don't have to do this much. And so he's saying, you will not reach the enjoyment of the ta'ah. You will only achieve it by musabara ala التكره والتعب أولا. You exert a lot of patience towards those, the shaitan and the self that are opposing you. They are being patient also in trying to put you down from ibadah. So you be patient على التكره, with dislike, والتعب, and tiredness. And in the beginning, you will find yourself pushing yourself to do the ibadat. And maybe you find some sort of dislike, that you find it burdensome, you find it tiring, تعب. أولا, in the beginning. فإذا صبر عليه وصدق في صبره, if he is patient for that, and he was truthful in his patience, أفضى به إلى هذه اللذة. It will lead him to this enjoyment. This he took from طريق الهجرتين. I remember we did do that. Right? When he was talking about patience, and they were saying that the patience is from the stations of the common folks. It's not for the special ubbad. He was refuting that. So he said, ولا يزال السالك عرضة للآفات والفتور والانتكاس. السالك, سلك, يسلك, the one who's going on a path. So we say a traveler. He continues to be exposed to al-afat, the plural of afa, problems, hindrances, obstacles. والفتور, being in a period of lacking enthusiasm, lethargy, futur, you're lukewarm, you're not as enthusiastic, you're not as having the zeal to worship. والانتكاس, relapse, you get sick, you get cured, and then you relapse. The sickness comes back again. Relapse. Intikas is when you flip. You are still exposed to flipping. Hmm? انتكس. When you have a cup upside down, منكوس. Famous hadith. The cup, like a cup, the heart stained, one stain after the other becomes completely black. كالكوز مجخية, like a pitcher that is turned upside down. So ينتكس والعياذ بالله. You get periods of relapsing. So you worship, you do, and then you stop doing, you stop doing, going reverse. You still, as a traveler to Allah, you continue to be exposed to these problems, to lack of enthusiasm, to relapsing, حتى يصل إلى هذه الحالة, up until he reaches this condition. The condition of what? Enjoying the أوراد and the عبادة. فحينئذ يصير نعيمه في سيره. In that way, then, at that time, his enjoyment, his bliss will be actually in him going on the path, traversing the path, walking on the path. ولذته في اجتهاده. His joy turns into him putting the effort and striving. وعذابه في فتوره ووقوفه. His torment and punishment now becomes in him being held back, becoming lazy, and him stopping. That's what torments him the most. يعني he wants to be back to the عبادة. فترى أشد الأشياء عليه ضياع شيء من وقته ووقوفه عن سيره. You will find that the most severe, the hardest things on him is losing some of his time and him stopping from his travel, from his walk. ولا سبيل إلى هذا إلا بالحب المزعج. Also, this is from طريق الهجرتين. There is no way to this, to achieving this state, where when you don't worship, you don't recite Quran, you don't pray, you don't, the voluntary, those extra awrad and dhikr, and you find yourself, you're living in hell, right? And the time is wasted, and you cannot go on, you cannot do your ibadah. You find this very tough on you. He says, لا سبيل إلى هذا. You will not have a way to reaching this stage, this condition, إلا بالحب المزعج. Except through the love that is worrisome type of love. Right? أزعج يزعج is when you bother someone. إزعاج, bothering. Right? But then here he means enticing, love that stirs you up, that puts you in a state of what? Anxiety. You get depressed if you don't worship. Right? You have anxiety, and you're not at peace because you were held away from your adhkar and your awrad and your ibadah. You will not reach that except after having that type of love that is pressuring you, pushing you, instigating you. مزعج, right? Not مزعج bothering, bothering in the positive sense, not in the right? Pushing you to do what you have to do. He said, فليزن العبد إيمانه ومحبته لله بهذا الميزان. So let the servant weigh his iman and his love for Allah with this balance, with this scale. ولينظر, let him look, هل هو ملتذ بخدمة محبوبه? Is he enjoying serving, worshipping his beloved? أو متكره لها, or is he somewhat, متكره, he's disliking the عبادة. يأتي بها على السآمة والملل والكراهة. He is performing it, but at سآمة, like being fed up, ملل, right? Weary and karaha, having dislike to do it. يعني you're dragging yourself to do that. This is the yardstick, and this is where we are trying to benefit from here. And I remind you, like I used to remind you when we did Madarij al-Salikin, the summary of Madarij al-Salikin, that we are doing topics that are very sensitive. And we should try to take heed. We shouldn't just listen and, oh, nice topic, nice, and then we go as nothing happened. Right? That's We are supposed to do that. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to achieve this. So this is the yardstick. Are you doing the acts of worship, rushing towards them, like he gave the example, you're being driven to it, like the water is driven downwards into a slope? Or are you like the opposite way? You're climbing a mountain. When are we going to finish? Right? You go one step, then another step, and then you stop, and you're, ah, I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Right? What kind of ibadah are you doing? He said, فهذا محل إيمان العبد ومحبته لله. This is the position this is the place of the iman of the servant and his love for Allah. فإذن, so then, علامة المحبة كمال الأنس بمناجاة المحبوب. The sign of love, that you love Allah, is كمال الأنس, the perfect comfort with the private conversation with the beloved. وكمال التنعم بالخلوة, and the complete enjoyment of the privacy, the seclusion with Allah. وكمال الاستيحاش من كل ما ينقض عليه الخلوة, and the complete estrangement, the complete alienation, the complete gloominess. You find your heart is not with you. ومن كل ما ينقض عليه الخلوة, of everything, you will feel estranged, you will feel uncomfortable with everything that will break up, that will disconnect you from that privacy with Allah. ومتى غلب الحب والأنس, and when the love and al-uns, this complete satisfaction, comfort, and friendliness, right? Uns. When both love and comfort overcome, they beat the others, they overwhelm you. صارت الخلوة والمناجاة قرة عين تدفع جميع الهموم. The privacy with Allah, the seclusion with Him, and the private conversation with Him, munajah, it will turn to be قرة عين, coolness for the eye, comfort, sort of satisfaction. تدفع جميع الهموم, it will repel all the worries. بل, rather, even on top of that, rather, بل يستغرق الحب والأنس قلبه. The love and this feeling of friendliness, feeling of comfort, right? Being consoled, right? It will overcome and overwhelm. يستغرق, it will take all sides, all corners of the heart. Right? So this is something that develops, right? And until you reach that stage. So the sign of the servant loving Allah is him being so comfortable, secluding himself away from the people and worshiping Allah and privately speaking to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala by reciting His book and making dua and all kinds of worship. And Allah knows best. So we will stop here today, and we continue tomorrow, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك